Hey there, and welcome to Podcast, I Guess, the podcast where we talk about cosplay and conventions around the GTA, Canada, and the US. My name is Pat, and I'm going to be your host. I'm also a cosplayer and videographer in the community. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook as Linkspeaks.
Hey there, I'm Mars. I am a cosplayer-turned-cosplay videographer. I've been in the community for about 7 years now, and my online handle is Red Planet Productions, where you can find me on Facebook and on YouTube.
I'm Rachel, also known as Rayny Cosplay, and I'm a cosplayer as well as convention staff at multiple conventions, and I've been in the industry for about 8 or 9 years.
Hey, I'm John, and I've been going to cons for about 20 years, and the only reason why I go to cons is to meet this cosplayer. I mean, you guys probably don't know who she is, but her name is Purblind Cosplay. I just really want to meet her, but I haven't had the chance to.
Today we have a special guest with us. Purblind Cosplay has shot up in popularity over the last year in the GTA, and she's come to join us for this episode. So welcome to the podcast, Natasha.
Thank you.
Hello, Natasha. What? Natasha's here?
It's Purblind.
Crazy.
John,
oh my god.
It's Purblind. John?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh my god.
I can smell the spaghetti from here.
Oh my god.
Do you need me to pick up your spaghetti? It's kind of overflowing.
Jeez, just give me a second.
It's embarrassing.
Do you do autographs? You might want one.
Maybe later.
I can
I'm
make
too
it
nervous
second.
to
Okay.
ask right now.
Cool. All right, so we're going to just do this in sort of an interview style to start off with, and it'll get more casual as we go on, I guess. I want to start with asking you, when did you start cosplaying?
My first convention was March Toronto Comic Con in 2013. So I've been cosplaying for about 2 years now.
And what was your first cosplay at that convention?
My first cosplay was a femme version of John Egbert from Homestuck.
Are there pictures of this?
There are
Do they
pictures.
Is there
exist?
evidence?
Yeah.
There's pictures, and oh my god.
Don't be ashamed, don't it?
It was, honestly, in all honesty, I look really cute. But it was made of, like, broadcloth, and then there were creepy dudes, like Homestuck dudes, coming up to me like, "You're really cute."
How did the Homestuck community react to it?
I got groped a lot.
Oh no.
Like, actually, they, like...
Yeah,
touched you
this
and
one
stuff?
guy, my first time ever cosplaying, it was, like, a month before. I wasn't really in, like, anything big, because it was just, like, jeans and a shirt. And this guy's like, "Can I take a cope of that fine ass?" And I just went,
No.
And he just grabbed my butt and started, like, squeezing it during a group photo. And I was so taken aback, I just stood there in, like, absolute horror.
Do you know how old he was, or, like...
I'm pretty sure he's, like, 2 years older than me, so he's, like, 19 or 20. But
Right.
still, like, your first time. I was 15 at the time, and I'm just there, like, what the fuck is going on?
That's horrifying.
Welcome to the community.
Yeah. That's cosplay. So what sort of drew you to become a cosplayer?
My best friend of about 7 or 8 years, she's been cosplaying since we were like 11 or 12. She doesn't cosplay as much anymore, but she did it a lot when we were younger. She was like, "Dude, you need to actually try this. Like, I think you'll like it," because I've been trying to, like, not do it for a long time. So she brought me to March Toronto Comic Con, and we made a costume for me, like, really quick, and I fell in love with it. It just kind of hit on.
Were you interested in anime and pop culture before cosplay, or was it kind of a gateway drug? Okay.
My parents are really big nerds, and, like, they're 90s teenagers, because my mom had me really young.
Well, what were they into?
Well, like, my dad has watched Evangelion and stuff, and my mom plays Halo, but she also, like,
Dad has
plays a
good
lot
taste.
of other things. Yeah. My dad doesn't remember a lot of Evangelion. He's like Shanjo? I'm like,
Oh my god.
okay.
Did your parents ever cosplay?
My mom and I are cosplaying together at Niagara Falls Comic Con. We're doing Silk Spectre and Silk Spectre 2 from Watchmen.
Awesome. Oh my
yeah,
god.
'cause my
Amazing.
mom's 36, so.
Mhm.
And we also want to she's doing Ragyo to my Satsuki from Kill la Kill. We're
Very
going to get her a mug
interesting.
that says World's Best Mom.
Awesome. It's amazing.
That's perfect.
You heard
That's
it here first, folks.
Yep.
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Purblind Future
Inside
cosplay.
Inside scoop.
Heard it here first. Okay, so over the past, like, how long you've been doing this, do you have, like, a favorite cosplay that you've done?
I really like being Ryuko. because she's like a character I just really respect, and like the anime like came out I guess at a time that was really influential for me personally, and yeah, so she's the most fun to wear. But I think the favorite costume I've made recently is Madoka, because that was like a dream costume for me.
Yeah.
When I first watched Madoka, I absolutely fell in love with it, and a bunch of people were like, I don't think you could pull her off, like you're not cute enough. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Which character is this?
Madoka from Madoka Magica.
Oh, yeah.
Pigtail.
Yeah, I know that
chick,
one. Pink
yeah.
hair.
With all the magic.
With all the
Yeah.
magic.
The magic
yeah.
and the...
I'm gonna wear that for Anime North, actually.
Do you make a lot of... Oh, I guess... Because you were talking about your favorite costume being Ryuko, right? But
Ryuko from Kill la Kill, just so we
Yeah.
yeah.
So people know.
I think I've only seen you wear that a few times. Do you just like to wear different costumes, or you don't like to rewear your costumes, or?
I'm probably gonna rewear Ryuko. It's just at the time there was like people were being really creepy to me because the skirt's short, and they'd be like, "You know your skirt's short, right?" I'm like, "Have you seen Kill la Kill?"
Casuals.
That's like the tame
Yeah.
costume from that.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up because I'm fixing it up. Probably bringing that to Anime North too. I
Yeah,
also just
cool.
want to remake my scissor blade because I've started making my own props.
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Well,
It's rough.
Tell us about that. How do you do a lot of woodwork?
I haven't done
Foam?
too many. I've had some of my friends help me a
Yeah.
lot. Like my Madoka bow, my friend helped me carve it because I don't have depth perception because of my vision.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm basically almost legally blind and I have a lazy eye. So just
Would you say that you're pure blind?
exactly.
Oh my god.
I get it now.
That's why.
Oh, that.
Yeah, because
that
purblind means obscured vision.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why that's my name.
Yeah, you gotta explain that to Pat because he just doesn't
I know.
understand.
And
okay.
yeah, so she had to carve the foam for my bow because the last time I tried to carve something out of insulation foam, I like hacked up my hands so badly, and it was like a week before Anime North. It ended up getting like closed with like hot glue, which was
That's-
annoying
oh
because
my
I was making
God.
so many props. And
What was the prop you were making for that?
I was trying to make Ryuko's scissor blade from Kill la Kill,
Ah.
and I just gave up. I like cut my hand carving the handle. I was like, nope, done.
that was Blizzard cosplay, right? That did the.
Yeah,
okay.
I ended up borrowing Bridget Quinn
Yeah.
commissioned a scissor blade from Blizzard Cosplay, so I just used that.
That's a really nice scissor blade. I've
Oh,
seen
it's
it, and
so
it's
pretty.
So decent.
Yeah,
I
no.
think I've
Blizzard
actually
makes
held
really
it.
good props. She does
Yeah.
a lot of commissions, and like she goes to OCAD too, so
Oh yeah.
she has
okay.
like the resources and the places to make them now
Awesome.
instead of her like garage.
Cool. Okay, so Anime North is coming up, as well as basically the other convention this
con
summer.
season.
Yeah, con season's coming up. So, do you have any cosplay plans that you want to share with us? That aren't
I'm
super
Give us
secret?
the exclusive scoop.
Yeah.
I'm working on Yoko from Gurren Lagann.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm gonna
wow.
try and make her a gun because it looks like so much fun. And that was one of the first, like, when I got into cosplay, I was like, I want to do that, but I don't think I could do that now. Especially since at the time I didn't really feel comfortable because I was like 15,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't really want to walk around in that. I'm also probably doing, well, there's a lot this summer. Like, I want to do Juliet Starling from
Oh yeah.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah.
And I want to do Ryuko's transformed outfit since I'm turning 18.
Oh, is that the one with all like the black and like
The skanky
the,
one, yeah.
the big hair and the
But I want to
shoulder
make like a
pads?
really cool prop, so if like someone comes up to me being all creepy, I'll just be like, don't touch me.
Do you, so obviously you've had like trouble with creepy people in the past, as you've said, like, and obviously if you're going to be dressing in these more confident costumes, like obviously they don't phase you, or like creeps don't phase you, but like surely you probably get some headed your way.
Sometimes I get weirded out. Like, recently I went to an event called Land War, and it was like a 48-hour gaming party.
Wow. Where was that?
It was at Durham College in Oshawa, and I was in Jinx, and I actually got really self-conscious partway through the day because, like, it doesn't normally happen, but that one's a lot smaller of a costume than what I'm normally used to wearing. And, like, at the same time, my breathing was getting constricted because I have to, like, bind my chest into that because I'm much more endowed than Jinx is. And I had a guy following me around the, like, whole event, and it was really weirding me out because I'd, like, go to my computer to play games or something, and he'd be there, Like,
Ooh.
even with my whole group of friends, like, circling around me, they were like, it's okay, but it creeped me out.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good that at least you haven't let that influence your cosplay decisions and that you're still cosplaying what you want. And that's really cool.
Yeah, and, like, I'm generally pretty good. Like, if people physically come up to me and start being creepy, like, I did Chun-Li's Alpha outfit from Street Fighter, and some guy, he's like, yo, Street Fighter, and I, like, waved at him, and I turned around, he's like, that's a nice ass, though, and I just, like, looked back at him and pointed, I'm like, that is inappropriate, young man.
So what is your main, so you've cosplayed from all sorts of genres, it seems, so like comic books, like American comics, anime, and video games. What is your main inspiration for choosing a character?
Generally, if I get into something and I see a character that has a lot of attributes that I either identify with or look up to, like if I see someone and I'm like, that's the kind of person I want to be, I'll cosplay them, most likely. Like, I guess costume design does have a lot to do with it, but I've been lucky so far, whereas, like, the characters I like, I tend to fall in love with their costumes, too. But, yeah, I've tried doing costumes just because I find them pretty, but I just don't get as motivated because I'm not as hyped about the character, and I just kind of, I'll, like, lose hype before I actually start working on it. I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Being only, you're 17 now?
Yeah.
How do you find the time to make all these costumes while still being in school?
Well, I go to an alternative school, so it's half online and half in class. Also, I take a visual arts portfolio class at my school, and I'm making a costume portfolio. So I can do some of my costume work for school and marks, which is really nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because my mom's trying to push me to either, I want to go into voice acting personally, but as another option, I'm also considering going to OCAD for costume design.
Do you want to try out any of these voices right now that we have the resources?
Do you have, like, a favorite character that you just like to be in your spare time? Like, voice-wise?
Oh, whenever I play League, if I'm playing Annie in mid lane, I just do her voice, and I, like, creep the hell out of my friends.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We have to.
You want to play too?
Oh,
It'll be fun.
Oh, shit, that's
really good.
awesome.
that was
really
amazing. That was perfect. I think you have definitely a strong career in both of those.
Okay, do you have any of Jinx's lines?
Oh, God.
I wear lots of belts for no reason at all.
Like, you sound exactly like her.
And also, yeah, my one friend will do Nami as support, and I used to just walk around going like, I decide what the tide will bring. And he's like, stop messing me up!
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my
I don't know. It was, ever since I was a little kid, I've just, like, I was an only child. I have a stepbrother now, but, like, growing up until I was 13-ish, I didn't have any siblings at all. And so I just kind of sat around, like, doing voices to myself. My mom would, like, walk into my room and be, like, talking to myself, but, like, in different, like, pitches and everything. And
She
just,
probably
like,
thought you were insane.
okay.
She embraces it, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can make money off it, yeah, that's pretty
Exactly.
That's awesome. So obviously, you've only been cosplaying for 2 years, and you've become such this famous cosplay personality, especially in you have in the Southern Ontario, as well as, like, just on the internet. Like, I remember seeing you, I think the first time I saw you was on Immigrant. Like, I was like, oh man, look at this Jinx cosplay. This is insane. Like, that was the first cosplay I saw of yours. But where do you think your popularity really picked up?
Probably when I did Jinx. Apparently, though, I appeared on Immigrant for the first time when I did a Wii Fit Trainer cosplay from Smash Bros.
No,
My
you did
friend-
Wii Fit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You did that on Anime North last year, right?
No, that was another lady who had, like, she had her dog. It was cool.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you. 'cause
I did it at Fan Expo. I actually want to bring that costume back because the body paint I chose was absolute trash. I think my favorite moment from that day, though, is I was holding my friend's, like, prop gun, and this guy comes up to me. He's, like, an old dude off the street. He's like, you're a sharpshooter, and you look sharp, too. And I'm wearing, like, body paint that's, like, flaking off, and I just looked at him like, are you serious right now?
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So how do you handle, like, the cosplay fame? Like, or has it affected your life, you think?
I think in some ways it definitely has. Like, I have to be careful with, like, what I do online and stuff for sure. And I have certain accounts that are just, like, completely protected. Like, I have my Twitter that I say most normal stuff on, but if I'm, like, having a bad time and I just need someone to vent, like, I have, like, a protected Twitter. And I also have, like, a personal Tumblr that has been my Tumblr since I was like 13, but like not many people know it's me.
Yeah.
Just because some people will like take things. I found people were like following my personal Facebook and like posting my profile pictures and my selfies to like 4chan on the V board.
Aww.
And I was really uncomfortable because I was like, I took this in my dad's car. Like this, I didn't share this on my page or anything. Like this is a personal photo.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like me with my dog or something. I'm like, why are you putting this on V?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The first time I ever saw you was on 4chan, but it was in one of like the good cosplay threads. It was, I think it was you did, it was a Disney princess that you did. Was it
Aurora?
Aurora? Was it?
I was in a good cosplay thread for that.
I don't know what the thread title was, but I'm pretty sure it was
That
complimented.
was, yeah, I was borrowing a friend's cosplay because my friend Rebecca Beck's Cosplay Wonderland is basically known as like the Disney queen. All she has are like, she has a closet full of Disney costumes at her house, and every time I go over, she's like, I'm gonna dress you up like a princess. She knows my favorite princess is Aurora and always has been since I was really little. So she like pulls out the blonde wig and like one of the dresses and she's like, are you ready?
Disney makeover time. That's
Yeah.
cute.
Hopefully someday I'll make my own Aurora dress. It's just princess dresses have so much fabric and that's so much money.
So many ruffles.
Have you calculated how much money you've spent on the hobby so far? I know it's hard to think about. You don't want to. Yeah.
I know I make costumes pretty affordably though. I know a lot of people who spend a lot of money and like only buy like Arda wigs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that by far. I'm really cheap.
Yeah.
I'll be like, $5? That's a lot of money.
What do you think the most you've spent on? Like, what would you say your most expensive cosplay was?
Probably Jinx, because I had to use like 3 different types of pleather and everything, and I had to dye my fabrics to get the right color I wanted, and that one was probably around $200.
Wow.
Wow.
So
That's still
you
pretty
seem
cheap, I
pretty
think.
dedicated to the quality of your costume. Do you really try to go for accuracy, like game or character accuracy?
Yeah. I tend to go for accuracy a lot. There are some points where like it depends on the character. Like if there's a character that there aren't many good refs for, I will certainly make some details.
Yeah, take artistic liberty.
Like if I can only see like the front of a character, on the back I'll try and like add something. I think a good example is Tharja from Fire Emblem. There's only like one ref of her back, and it's from the art book, and it's implied that she has like an eye design on the back of her cape. And I just went with it because it looked cool. And so I spent like 6 hours appliquing gold to velvet.
Oh, wow.
It murdered me. My mom, I was like, oh, can I like play games with you in the front? She's like, no, you have work to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great that your parents are so
My parents are super supportive. It's awesome. And like my mom knows a lot of people in like the LARPing scene and just the nerd scene and stuff, and she has friends like poking her. They're like, oh, your daughter's Purblind? And she just wants to get a shirt that says like Purblind's mom on it. She always
that's
teases
cute.
me with that. I'm like, stop, Mom.
Just wear it to cons with you. It'll be really great.
Oh my god.
And you were a guest recently at Frostcon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that as an experience?
That was really cool. I had never been like a guest at a convention. I was really humbled when they messaged me. They were like, do you want to be a guest? And I for a second, I was just sitting there thinking like, are you joking? Like, is this real? Oh, okay. I really, yeah, no, it was really fun. And I got to be in like a panel for it. And I just kind of like walked around, I guess. But I had a lot of fun at the con itself. And it's nice that I guess I'm getting known in the community in a way. I just hope that it like stays positive, because like I know one thing that keeps me cosplaying is the fact that like there are some really negative people in the community, and I want to try and make that number be less, because I want to just make cosplay a fun thing.
So what's the difference being a convention attendee versus being a guest at a convention like that?
Well, it was a pretty small con, and I didn't have a very big role because there were a handful of cosplay guests. I did feel more accommodated, which was really nice. And I had like a place to put my things. And I have pretty bad anxiety, so it was nice to have an area that I could just go and like chill out if I needed to. And I would just sit in the back of it with a couple friends and just like eat food, because I forget to eat at cons a lot. So my friends are always hounding me to like eat and drink things so I don't get lightheaded. My anxiety was kind of like weird that day, so I felt really lucky to be a guest because I could just sit there and they're like, yeah, just take as long as you need. the staff was really nice to me. I find some con staff, like, I find it's a lot of dudes can sometimes be kind of mean to attendees.
This is conventions in general, right?
Yeah, just in general. Like, I've had some people be, like, weird. I had one guy ask my friend if her boobs were real.
Oh, this happened to Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
She told me the story.
And she ended up getting, like, a free pass for the day, but still,
That was actually security as well.
Oh,
it wasn't,
really?
Yeah, it wasn't just staff members, it was security, and he was supposed to be checking her ticket to see if she could go in, and, like, he, like, stopped her and asked her if, like, her boobs were real, and she got really
If I
annoyed that
was
she
there, I
reported
would've,
him,
like,
and
hit
she
him.
got a free
Should-
pass
should
out of
we,
it, which is good.
I've had
Talk about what con that was. Or
Fan Expo.
Fan Expo.
I once had
why am I not surprised?
It's okay. We can shit talk them as much as we want.
I know, I'm
Nobody's
not
going to be
surprised.
offended.
Hobby Star makes me kind of iffy.
It's not Hobby
Yeah.
Star anymore, actually.
Oh, really?
It's, what's it called now? The company that owns it. It's not Hobby Star, I know that.
Whatever.
much.
Who cares? Google it.
Yeah.
no,
But yeah, I'm still super iffy about it.
that's
They never give me
creepy.
media passes, so I get butthurt about
Those
it.
bastards.
Yeah, that's a really inappropriate question too. Just like, are your boobs real?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
I
a security
know.
guard asking that.
Yeah.
It made me so uncomfortable when she told me. I, like, shivered because I was so skeeved out.
I once had at a convention someone it was staff, and they made me like prove I was wearing underwear, but it was like a guy who asked me, and I was just like, no, like, you find like your female con aid and I will prove it, but like, because
What
had, like,
costume was this?
it was Gloria from Devil May Cry, but she
Oh
has
my
like
God.
a butt flap that has like slits up to like the back, and then like the front is a flap, and then like, so it looks like I'm not wearing underwear, but I was wearing a very like carefully placed underwear. Like but it was just really awkward. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, that's like with Noriko. I was so lucky I could fit a pair of underwear under that, and I had dance tights. So people were like, "Are you worried about like anything slipping?" I'm like, well, aside from this being glued to my butt, I have like really thick tights and like skin tone underwear. Like, this is a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely always trying to like work your way like into a cosplay and make it as safe as possible.
Yeah, no, that's like with Jinx. I like tape my boobs because I've seen like a couple photos where people took like Jinx selfies online, and you can like
no.
see their nipple. I'm like, that is not going to be me.
Oh no.
I remember like the first thing I bought when I was working on Jinx was like blue nipple covers, because I'm like, hey, I got Smurf nipples.
Perfect.
You mentioned before that you've done some kind of charity events, like the land thing.
Yeah, Landmar was really fun. I guess they're not like charity events, they're more like community events. I also sometimes, I'm going to be a guest, I think it's next weekend at, there's a League of Legends stream for the spring finals.
Oh, nice.
And so do they approach you for this?
Yeah,
or-
they just message me. They're like, yo, do you want to come to this thing? And so I do. Because I really like doing community stuff.
So they treat you like a guest, and what's your role there exactly?
I know the last League event I went to, I helped host a costume contest. And I was there for like photo ops and stuff. So I'll come in costume and people can get photos with me as the character. Some people are like, oh, yo, I remember you. And other people are just like, hey, it's Jinx.
Sucks you can't win the contest though then. But
I actually, my first League event, which I went to, this will be next weekend. It'll be the year anniversary. I went in costume just because I was going to just go casual. But a bunch of people were like, why aren't you going to go in your Jinx cosplay? And I just went and I entered the competition because my friend like pushed me, and I was like, fine, I'll do it for shits. And then I won. I was like, oops.
that's amazing. That's so good.
I felt so bad though, because like I didn't really want to win. I wanted someone else to win.
Aw.
I was like, give it to someone else. But then I won a gaming mouse, so I couldn't really say no because
That's
my
pretty
mouse
sweet.
was like $10 and really shitty. So I was like, okay, I kind of need this.
All right, I guess I'll take it. it.
So what do you do like outside of cosplay? Like, is there anything else? Like, so obviously cosplay is a huge draw to conventions for you, but do you go for any panels or video game events?
Oh yeah, for sure. I do like to go also just to see friends, because there are some friends that come out of town and stuff like that. My friends are very important to me.
That's important too.
I do go to some panels and booths and stuff like Fan Expo. The only reason I wanted to go in the con is because they had the huge League of Legends booth, and I was just talking to all the rioters there. And like, I just hung out with the riot people. It was really fun.
Are you in costume?
Yeah, I was in Jinx, and I had
Awesome.
a Vi. My friend Rebecca did Vi, and so we were running around, and I kept like teasing her all day.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Hey, fat hands."
Nice.
Okay, so can you take us through the process of making a costume?
Sure, yeah. Do you want me to do like general process?
Well, pick a costume that you've done and just
The one that really got me to know my process well, and I actually follow the process aside from just like bullshitting and like screaming, was Jinx. She came out. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I sat down and I budgeted the entire thing, and I planned out what materials I would use for what, and I had it all written down on a sheet, and I wrote down like my timeline. I originally wanted to have it done and completed for Anime North. And that was just the costume, because I kind of gave up on props for that because I was such a baby. Like, that was my second costume I made, like completely from scratch at least. So I just chose fabrics and everything, and I ended up finishing it early for MTAC, which was cool. But
Which rarely happens for any costume.
Never.
yeah, I
happens.
started it in October and finished it in March, and then revised it for Anime North, and then I've actually revised it this year because I was like, hey, I know more about sewing. Some of this is kind of falling apart. Also just because some of the pleathers, because it's like really tight in some areas, they just stretch out over time.
Mm-hmm. Did you know how to sew before doing cosplay?
No.
No? What was that like as a learning experience?
Stressful. My mom has worked as like a commissioned seamstress, and she was bugging me to let her teach me to sew, and I refused to let her teach me. And so she got really frustrated at times because the first costume I sewed was Annie from League of Legends. Mm-hmm. There were other costumes I had like altered parts of, but that was just like a straight stitch, and my mom kind of guided me a little bit, like as much as I would let her. But yeah, she went out to see some friends or something, and she was coming back the next day, and she came home and I had sewed a dress with her sewing machine, and I had it on, and she's like, what the hell is this?
Where did this dress come from?
I could barely like lift my arms, so I was like, look, Mom, I did it. And I remember like part of her was proud, but like at the same time my mom and I had to have a big talk because she can be really critical. She'll be like, this is really good, but... And I'm like, Mom, you have to stop that. I am critical enough of my own work. I
wonder where you got it from.
Yeah. I'm like a perfectionist now because of it.
But that's always good, like being a perfectionist, especially I think when it comes to cosplay, because if you're going to go for accuracy.
Yeah. I always revisit costumes, and if I'm going to wear it one time and then another time afterwards, I always revisit the costume and just use some of my extra fabric or whatever, or materials to either patch it up or just like make it a little bit nicer. And like I've been fixing up my Ryuko, and like since I've been making armor and stuff now, I made her new hip thingies because I don't know why she has hip armor, but she does.
No reason, just because it's anime.
I guess you have to protect her hips because they don't lie.
Exactly.
So why don't you take us down memory lane? Your positive or negative experiences that you've had at conventions. I'm sure you have some stories.
I have some pretty good stories, yeah. Definitely one of the best cons I've ever been to was Anime North last year, because that was my first time cosplaying in a group, and I had a Mako, Satsuki, and a Nonon and a Nui from Kill la Kill to my Ryuko, and at the time I was really sick, and my Ryuko costume wasn't that great because I had to rush it, and I was also sewing and sick. And I was pretty good for Anime North though. So it was just nice to be with friends, even though my costume wasn't that great. I had to hot glue part of it on, like before the con. But it kind of reminded me of like why I'm there. I have so many pictures, and while like I forgot to style part of my wig, like the bangs got stuck up into my hair and I didn't realize, so all my hair was just swooped to the side. I look off in the photos, but like I look so genuinely happy that I just keep them. I'm like, these are nice. I like these photos, and it's me with all my friends, and it's positive to have good times like that, because I see some cosplayers who just kind of will just go to cons and just do a bunch of photo shoots and not really see people, and that would get exhausting. I like being with friends a lot and just meeting people and stuff. I always try to make new friends at a con.
So out of all the conventions you've been to, what has been your favorite one so far?
Well, I've been to Anime North and March Comic Con. Well, March Comic Con I've been to 3 times. It's okay. It's
definitely grown a lot within the past few years.
Yeah,
eh?
no, it's gotten way
better, hasn't
bigger.
it?
I think it's great to just see friends. At,
Yeah.
like and just meet.
I find that one's always nostalgic for me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, oh my gosh, this was where it all began.
Babby's first
But,
cosplay.
AN is really fun. I
Mhm.
really like Anime North. Just the atmosphere is really great. I'm excited that I'm going a 3rd time, and I love how many people are like veterans. But yeah, I do like Atomic Lollipop as well because it's over my birthday weekend,
Oh,
and
cool.
this year I get to be 18 at that con. And
When's your birthday?
July 14th.
July 14th.
Yo, everyone better see those e-gifts
Yeah.
sent to Natasha.
Sent them in.
I'll be really in the mood for someone to give me like $100,000.
Yeah, if you send them to us, we'll
like-
give it to her.
yeah.
for sure.
Where are my rich
We'll
men
take
at?
care of it for you. Don't worry.
And what's your favorite thing about Apop? I've only been once, and I know the rest of us have been a couple times, I think.
It's great. I mean, I mention it every single episode,
Yeah.
but I love it. It's like personally for me, I've kind of been losing interest in Anime North just because it's a great convention to cosplay at, but panel wise, nothing has really interested me, and I don't really go to the dealer's room or artist alley too much anymore now. What about you?
The only thing I really like about Anime North panel wise is like they have Anime Hell as a panel, and like sometimes there's the weird yaoi panels and stuff,
Mhm.
and I find those are hilarious
Mhm.
to be around.
Now, just imagine,
But just the atmosphere when you're cosplaying there is really nice though.
but like imagine all those panels, but like that's every single panel. That's Atomic Lollipop for you.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly,
is just
no.
like every panel turns into a game, so it's more of an activity versus just
Yeah.
like a lecture hall.
Oh, so
And I've done a
fun.
panel at Apop too. I was in the Disney Princess panel, and I was Rapunzel, and I led like a Pictionary game and stuff, and we did like make your own dress out of toilet paper, and it was really fun. We had a room full of like adults. There was maybe one kid, and they just all had so much fun. They were just giggling and everything.
That's awesome. And you're gonna be 18 this year, so you're gonna get to go to all the like adult, I guess, panels.
I accidentally went to one of them.
Quote
Yeah, I'm
accidentally.
sure it was an
Accidentally.
accident.
You
Well,
just
they
walk
like
in.
dragged me into speed dating. They're like, "We need an extra girl," and they just like pulled me into the chair. I'm like, "Okay," and
Was that fun?
it
How
was
was that?
scary
Oh my god.
because some guys were looking at me and they would just like stare at me and nervously like make a squeak or something because they didn't know how to talk to girls. I guess. One guy I was trying to, because I just try to be friendly to people, which sometimes gets taken the wrong way. They'll think I'm like flirting, but I'm just a nice person. And I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, "So what are your hobbies? Like, do you cosplay?" And he's like, yeah, sometimes.
I'm just
See,
here to
I-
find my waifu.
See, I prefer the quiet guys than the ones that are just like overly touchy, and I'm like, no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
there's a line.
There was
here.
one guy who my friend had made an OkCupid profile, like the dating website, using some of my cosplay photos, and
Oh my
apparently one of the guys had asked me out for ramen, like on Naruto. And I saw him at the speed dating, and he's like, "I asked you out on OkCupid, and you never responded."
my God.
Oh my
Please
god.
respond.
So awkward.
I felt so terrible. I was like, "I'm really sorry, dude, but that wasn't me."
Oh,
You
don't feel
ruined
too
his
bad.
day.
Seriously.
He's devastated now forever.
But yeah, they didn't ask if I was 18, so I didn't say anything. I was just like, "Yeah, for sure, I'll come."
Yeah. I've only been to Apop once, and I had a great time. Like, luckily, I was of age, so I could go to all the panels. But I have to recommend Dick or No Dick.
I heard so many good
It's
things.
so good, really great.
I know this Apop, I'm gonna try and make it like really special. I want to
Yep.
do a bunch of really good costumes and meet with all my really close friends. And I love that it's at the Science Center.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
such a good
good.
venue.
So
Yeah.
good.
So back in the olden days of Apop, they used to have a carnival, and it was like they had like a Ferris wheel and like what was that jousting thing? I don't know if they still have
just
that.
jousting.
There's-
They actually
Like a
they had it
foam
last year too.
jousting.
It was kind of like tucked away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it used to be at the Sheridan near AN, and they had more space.
I don't miss that much though.
I kind of liked it, but
Yeah, I like
See,
the Ferris
I
wheel.
only went when it was at the JCCC.
Yeah, they had it at the JCCC one year. I
JCCCC.
heard they got kicked out of it though.
Yep.
I had a family
Yeah.
friend who went, and apparently he found people like having sex in the pillow fort.
Oh.
Oh,
That's the
I
one
think
person.
Oh,
yeah,
in
I
the
heard
hotel?
about that
That was
incident
nasty.
where they apparently there was a few incidents of that.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
there was another guy who found like a needle. So they didn't go back to the JCCC.
In the pillow
Oh.
fort?
but
Do you know in the JCC that little model of like a Japanese temple or a castle
Yeah.
thing, somebody like threw an open bottle of pop into that thing and messed it up. So that's one of the reasons why they didn't want us back.
That's
Well, I'm not saying us. They didn't want Apop back. I had
it was
nothing
you,
to do with
Pat.
that.
It was you.
That's
Yeah.
why
I didn't do it.
that's why the science center is so perfect. Because
Yeah, it's a
everything,
good place to get rowdy.
Everything is like child.
It's child.
So you can't break them.
And like drunk adults is the same thing as child,
They're
right?
basically
Yeah.
children.
Just really
Basically.
big children.
It was great too because you just got free access to the entire science
Yeah.
center as
I'm
well.
so
I
excited
learned
to go this year
things.
because yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
learned a lot.
That was
I
my
learned-
first time like recording with Pat too.
Yeah.
Like video, and he has video of me just like walking around, like touching everything, like whoa, science.
Oh my god, it's so
much.
trippy.
Science rules.
He was just like, look like you're learning something, and I'm dressed up as Oscar, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm enlightened.
I also learned that John can't climb a climbing wall.
Of course not.
It's too difficult.
What I found cool about that place was that I guess all the staff are so used to, you know, just kids coming in from field trip and just teaching kids these things, and it was probably the first time in a while that they had like a group of adults here
really
and like
drunk adults.
and super drunk and really interested to learn, right? And so I find that the staff really had a good time. I remember there's this one staff member on a Segway who would just kind of like segue around saying hi to
remember that
people
guy.
and whatnot. And I remember I was talking to him for a while because they had like a rock band demonstration set up.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me, and then he'd look past me and he'd see Spider-Man. He's like, oh shit, this motherfucking Spider-Man. And he would just segue away to Spider-Man to take a
That's
picture.
awesome. Look, we are not sponsored by Apop, all right?
But we all
But
love
if
it.
Apop's listening,
But hey,
Hey,
yo,
I don't even know who runs Apop.
Hit them up with some media badges.
Give us some money. Give us money.
Give us money.
Throw it at
Hey,
us.
Bob, can we have some money?
thanks.
I know this
Or the
will-
science center.
Every
Yeah.
year, I also just go in their little masquerade just for fun, because that was my first technical like masquerade, even though it's just like you walk on with your costume. But it was fun because just as a joke, I just was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday, by the way," because I knew the judges, and then they told everyone it was my birthday, and so everyone's just like, "Woo!" And I was just walking on as Ryuko. I'm like, "This is a good time."
That's awesome.
Did you win anything?
No,
Okay.
I've never won anything at like a masquerade or anything.
You should. Well, that was the only one you've done, right?
I did
Location?
unplugged.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But that one was just kind of a joke entry because I was supposed to do Mafia Jinx from Leak there, and my wig didn't come in, so I made a costume in a week that cost me $30, and I was in Ryuko's tracksuit, and I just scootered on the stage.
Nice.
Just as a side question, does anyone know how the rankings work? Like, if you
Oh,
get a
yes.
prize
I do.
somewhere, one at con? does it
Basically
count
the way it
somewhere
works
else?
is if you win, you go novice, journeyman, and then master.
Mhm.
So if you win once in novice, you go to journeyman. I think it's you win once or twice in journeyman, you go to master.
I think it
Okay.
also depends on which convention because I
Yeah.
think Anime North is 3 times in
Yeah.
Journeyman.
I thought there
but-
were more categories than that.
do you need to
There's-
But
Prove it
it's
somehow?
also based off of if you do have a costume background because I know
Yeah, exactly.
I
Oh.
do wardrobe related activities as a career, and
Mhm.
so they're like you can't be a novice, and I was like,
How do you
well,
prove
damn.
that, like, how many times you've won or how many times you haven't won? Or
I think you just have to be
Say,
honest.
trust me, I've won.
They just test your honesty. A
Cool.
lot of the
That's
time,
fine.
though, there are judges that know each other that
Yeah.
do each thing. Like, I know Vicky Bunny Angel's a really common judge at a lot of things, so
Yeah.
she ends up being there. And if she saw you win like 2 other contests, and you're like, "This is my first one," she'll be like,
And-
"Okay, that's bullshit."
And everyone's on the internet. Like usually, a cosplay judge will often know who the big name
Mhm.
people are. They're not going to be like.
And it
"Hey."
depends on how, like, I guess official it is. Because
Mhm.
I know Con Bravo, for example, follows the like official like masquerade guidelines.
Rules.
But I know Apop, for example, it's just a costume like walk on.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You just walk on and have fun, and that's why I always go to it because I don't feel the pressure.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just like,
all about
okay,
just
I'll
having
just like
fun.
spin around, like shake my butt or something, walk off.
Have you ever been in a skit contest?
I have not. I
Good.
really would like to try
Good.
sometime.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
Really?
Well,
Is it
I
bad?
think, I think it's like if you are in a skit contest, ask friends and make sure your skit is really good.
It's
Yeah.
hard to make a good
Well, I
skit.
also have like a background in acting and writing, so I've managed to write a couple of good skits that I remember.
So as long as you're in charge of the skit.
Yeah,
everyone
It'd
follows
be cool to incorporate your
rules.
voice acting too, like somehow into it and do
I
different
know
voices.
if I do a skit, I really want to do voiceovering
That'd be cool.
for the characters. My friend Anton, he's an American cosplayer, and he's friends with a cosplayer named Mango Cyrene.
I've heard of her.
She's friends with like Cortoon and
Okay,
them.
yeah.
He helped do the voice acting for their Fire Emblem skit at KatsuCon. That ended up winning like best in show.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
He
That's
said it
awesome.
was really fun, but also I remember him like ripping his hair out like closer to the thing, and I stayed in his hotel room, and he was like, "Oh my god, my Fire Emblem group has to do well. Oh, they're depending on me."
So how is what is your lineup this year? So we know Anime North. Are you going to any of the picnics? Like I know there's one 2 weekends from now.
I try to go to any picnic I can. I'm never for certain on the picnics because sometimes things come up and I can't make it. I'm hoping to go to this picnic, but I might be visiting family. I know I'm going to Anime North, Atomic Lollipop. I'm hoping to go to Con Bravo, Otakuthon, and I'll probably pop into Fan Expo.
Yeah, nice.
I don't
Just
know
pop in?
whether I'll go.
If you're going to
inside.
Apop though,
Hmm?
you should book your hotels soon. If anyone's listening as well, because they have a what is it, like a discount rate?
Yeah.
Yeah, their
happening.
discount is up.
I don't
So-
think I'll be staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you-
sure though.
You don't live far away.
My
right?
dad's like a 20-minute drive.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, that's
But
yeah.
I might also just stay at a friend's house because I have certain friends that will TTC in every day.
Mhm.
Because I don't have a car, and I know that the hotel is like driving distance.
Yeah.
I also don't even have a G1.
Actually, they have a shuttle bus that's like free. That one's.
Oh
from
yeah,
there
I've taken
to-
that before.
Yeah.
Because I stayed at a hotel last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't see you there.
Yeah,
Really?
you did.
Don't worry about it. I didn't.
So, do you personally have any cosplay idols that you look up to, or maybe were like inspirations to you
Oh,
getting
God.
into it?
Yeah,
Your
for sure.
cosplay waifu?
I really admire Sephara Cosplay. She's really big on Tumblr. I think her Facebook page has like fewer likes than mine because she doesn't really push it.
Mhm.
But her seamstress work is amazing. She's so talented. I remember I met her at KatsuCon this year, and she knew who I was, and I kind of just sat there like grinning to myself, and I had realized just before, maybe 2 weeks before, that she doesn't follow many people on Instagram, but she has a lot of Instagram followers, and one of them was me. And I was
nice.
like, why are you following me? I'm like, shit tier. Because she's friends with a lot of really talented people, too.
Mhm.
I also really like Most Vlogged and Tato's work. They're also
Tato
American
is so
cosplayers.
awesome.
Yeah, Cerulean and Draco, too.
Ooh, yeah.
They're all in a friend group, and I met them at Katsu, and I'm like online friends with Jason, Cerulean Draco, and Tato Sky. And so I saw them, I'm like, oh my god, I'm seeing you in real life. I think a person I like look up to immensely though is Lee Kovacs.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
really
Yeah,
talented.
she's my waifu.
Pick the
Yeah.
link. She's the bestest.
Mhm.
She's so good.
Just her work, I just look at it, I'm like, how is a human that perfect?
I know. Yeah.
And
she-
her
both a male
dog.
and female. It's
Yeah.
just like, why?
Her dog makes me emotional. I actually met her before I was a cosplayer when she was doing promos for Skyward Sword.
oh yeah, in the Eden Center.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was she able to talk to you at all?
I didn't know what cosplaying was at the time. I was about 14, but I really liked Zelda, and I've always had a crush on Link, and so I like walked up to her. I'm like, I like your costume, and I was like blushing, and she was really cute. She's like, thank you so much, and I think I hugged her, and then
You just
or I
can't
was
even
too
remember.
nervous, and
You know
I
those.
have the picture still. It's like little greasy, like 14-year-old me, and then there's like Lee Kovacs next to me. I just look like absolute trash. And it turned out Cerulean Draco was there too. He's my friend now, and I met him before we knew each other.
What was he dressed up as?
He was
Was he Girahim?
yeah, he was Girahim.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because in
Oh,
the
no
photo I have
way.
with him, he has a bulge.
Oh,
I felt so bad. I'm like, oh no, your dance spell must have shifted, you
Oh,
poor
no.
babe.
Lee made that costume too, from what I've heard. Like she made all those, all the promotional costumes.
I wouldn't put that past her.
Yeah,
I believe
She's
it.
really talented.
Super talented.
Absolutely.
I got the opportunity to meet her when she did like the symphony thing. I met her at that same event that you were at, but I met her at the symphony, and I was able to like I drove her to the airport the next day.
you
I
see
would
Pat
pass
right
out.
now,
Like, I don't
he's
even have
just
a
like-
driver's license, but I would just, if I could drive and she got in the car, I would just be like, I just lose consciousness.
You just keep looking in the mirror in the back. You're like, oh my god.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
She's such a sweetheart, so nice.
Pat is just like fangirling.
I'm
Fangirling so
super
hard right now.
fangirling.
if you see her.
I had
Oh my
the
God.
biggest crush on her for the longest time.
I'm still
And when I
there.
realized like she wasn't a boy, she was a girl, I was actually heartbroken for like at least a few days.
I was just like,
I was
"Ooh, I don't even care."
Was that when
devastated.
she still went by like Pikmin Link?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is back in like the DeviantArt
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. I had seen her around, but like I didn't really know it was like called cosplay. I was just like, oh, neat.
I remember like Pat has kind of become friends with her somehow, which is just awesome.
So that airport thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember Pat was telling me how he was gonna get dinner with her, and he was inviting me, but I was busy because I was working at the film festival at the time.
Oh,
And then
no.
Pat actually brought her to me to where I was working to say hi, and I was like, I just
must have,
froze
like,
up. I was
almost
like,
shat yourself.
hi, I'm a big fan of you, and like I think she seems like a shy person herself too, right? And so we're just two shy people trying to communicate, and it just didn't go out so well.
She has a Facebook page for her dog too. And
What's her dog's name?
Unagi.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What type?
He's a little tiny like chihuahua, I think.
Okay.
But she just posts like Instagram videos of him like sleeping, and I really like dogs.
I love dog Instagrams. They're my
yeah,
favorite.
that's like all I do whenever if I'm really bummed out. My mom's like, "Open Instagram, Natasha, do it." And I commented on one of the photos of her dog once. I'm like, "Oh my god, I just want to pet him." And then she replied because she's the moderator of the page. She's like, "He would love that." And then she's like, "Licks." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Where does she live? Where's she from?
She's
She's
American.
California or somewhere around
Too
there.
far.
Okay, I know that
Too
she's from Hungary originally, and then she told me that she lived in like Edmonton or Calgary or something, and she lived there when she was a kid.
Does
and
she
then
have an accent?
no, she sounds American.
Okay.
Live in Ontario.
Pat, do you want to get into how you became friends with her, like after the symphony?
This is like name drop the episode.
Yeah, we just know so many famous people, you know.
We know
Don't worry
who
about
I'm
it.
kind of a big
it's
deal on the internet.
No, well, I mean, do you know who Accent? Of course, you know who Accent. Okay, he invited me to meet her because she was like there for the symphony that was happening like in 2012. Oh man, that was a long time ago.
You're old.
Yeah,
Date yourself.
I'm elderly. So, I was like so excited. I wanted to meet her, and we only really had time to
Is
walk.
this the same symphony that you and I went to? Is this the same year?
No, I think it was the one you and I went to was like the year after.
Okay.
So, we walked from like the Royal York to the Sony Center or whatever it was. And I asked her for if she could take a picture with me, and we did. And then I offered to take her to the airport the next day because she was gonna have to take a cab, and I thought that would be really expensive for her. So I'm like, hey, you know, I can give you a ride if you need. So I did. The next day.
A random stranger's car. It turned out to be.
I'm completely normal, okay? So yeah, so basically that's how I met
And
her.
at this point, did she know at all that you cosplayed Link and you're a big fan, or?
No, but oh, you know what? She actually remembered me from the Skyward Sword promo event,
Really?
like the year before.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And
because I was.
and like that's the time a lot of us went all together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you're the one with like the wristbands and the Zelda like belt buckle and stuff, and she remembered me, and it was like.
Did your
Yeah.
heart go dookie dookie dookie?
No, I played it cool.
I know she's a husband, I think.
Dreams shattered.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
didn't
just
ask her.
I only
No,
found out
no.
just because this is embarrassing. I was looking, she has a special tag for photos of her dog, so I was looking through them, and then I noticed one of them was posted by a different dude, and like and then he had another photo that was like, oh my sweetheart. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think she's definitely been in like a long term relationship.
Whenever
which
I
is
like, find out
heartbreaking, but-
cosplayers like have girlfriend boyfriends, I'm just like,
Oh, whenever I see someone like really hot, and I'll just get so even if they're just really good at costuming, I'll just like get a crush on them, and then as soon as they're like, and this is my boyfriend, I'm like, I didn't even have a thing for you, but damn it.
It's like, you've betrayed me. You've betrayed me.
She had a Zelda-themed wedding, too.
Oh
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In, like,
I didn't hear
the
about
the
that.
Redwood. Action told me.
needs to
I
post
hate
her
name
pics.
dropping. Damn it.
Accent, if you're listening, well, you're probably not, but
Give us
bad.
money.
you know, give us some money.
No.
Right?
Okay, so no, it was like in the redwood forests in like near San Francisco, I think.
Ooh, wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's so pretty.
Insanely jealous.
I'm
I
so
just want her
jealous right
life.
now.
Just
Are
want to be part of her
Not
life.
really. I don't
She's
like.
like a real life Nintendo waifu.
Yeah.
That's probably why she got hired by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, do you have a dream cosplay? Like, obviously, I think you can say that your cosplays are getting more and more detailed, but if you
Yeah.
had all the money, all the talent, all the time in the world,
All the man hours.
Oh god.
all the hot glue.
Hot glue.
Well, I know I really want to be Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura.
Oh, like just basic like outfit? Like,
Any of her outfits, they're all so pretty.
they're so cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite animes growing
You could
up.
totally do that, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
I'd love to see you as like any of the Clow cards too.
Oh, that'd be so
because like they're really
pretty.
delicate and they're
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, when I was little, I was 4 or 5. I had a computer that I played like Tron on and stuff, and my background was Sakura for like 5 years straight.
wow.
I think I'd also I have a lot of like dream cosplays that are just really intricate, and I just sit there like, how would I ever afford this?
Oh, like what's one for instance?
Well, I want to do Ryuko's transformed outfit really
Mhm.
badly, but I want to like really soup it up and make it look really
That
good.
one is awesome. I think the wig, or rather, the hair actually looks different, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it
Yeah,
does.
so
It's like
all-
I'm gonna have to get a completely
Yeah, it's like a
different
new
wig.
wig, and it's
Mhm.
you're pretty much making.
I'm excited though because
new
it's got
costume.
so much like spiking to
Yeah,
it that
yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
oh, I'm gonna have so much fun. Oh, I think if I had to pick something though, like for pure childhood nostalgia, I'd want to be Yugi.
What's Yugi from?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh,
Pat,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pat, you're kicked out of
Get
this
out of here.
podcast.
Can we cut
remember,
that? Can we?
I
No.
was showing my dad Melinda Chan. She works for Arda. She does a lot of wigs, like wig styling tutorials. And I showed him her Yugi wig, and I'm like, "Look how beautiful this is." And he's like, "That looks too fake. If I were to do that, I would make it look more realistic." I'm like, "Dad, I want to see you do that, like right now. Like make a Yu-Gi-Oh wig. I swear to God."
And then if he actually makes it, you're just like, yeah, that looks good. I'll just take that.
I would
Then
just
you
like
just
put
make your
like
costume.
Doritos on my head and like color them differently so they're
A,
spikes.
a Yugi costume would actually be so difficult to make, I think.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the clothing is hard, and then the wig is
Everything.
insane.
Mhm.
Just
The
It's
hair
really
is insane.
pointy, right?
And even
Well,
if you
shoot
get
a
it
tail
super
salon on
accurate,
that.
it just looks fake all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's really pointy. You know, it's got long hair, whatever, and then it's got like 3 colors.
mhm.
Yeah.
Insane, crazy.
So we're basically nearing the end of the podcast now. Natasha, is there anything you want to plug and talk about?
I guess my Facebook page is Purblind Cosplay, Purblind, and you can find me on YouTube with that also because I do con vlogs, and I'm gonna do some cosplay related videos, and you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr under Purblind, but with 2 R's, so Purrblind. Like
Did
a
someone
cat.
really take your name on those?
It's since it's already a word.
Oh,
yeah.
true, yeah.
But I also just thought it was cute to have it separate, so you kind of have to dig for it.
Making us work for it, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're definitely looking forward to the upcoming con season and seeing what you've got in store. And thanks so much for being a guest on this episode.
You've been great. We love
Yeah.
you.
Aw, thanks. I love you guys.
Of course, I've been Pat.
Mars?
I'm still Rachel.
And I am John.
Thanks for listening, I guess.
To
Later.
podcast, I guess.
Yeah.